Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a celebrity psychic reading on Tamar Braxton. This has been highly requested by a lot of viewers, so I'm going to be focusing on what I see for her for the remainder of 2018, going into 2019, and whatever else comes through. Now, Tamar is, for those of you that are not aware of who she is a sibling of the Braxtons. You know, Toni Braxton was very popular in the early 90s and 2000s. That's one of her sisters. And Tamar is also a singer. She's a TV personality. She does acting. So there's a lot of different aspects that she does. For those of you that may not know who she is, they did have their show. It's called the Braxtons, and it was on one of the networks. So, you know, she has a lot of different hats that she wears, a lot of different things that she's going into. When I get into her energy, I'm really concerned about her mental health and her physical health. What I'm being shown is that she's been strong for so long, and it's like now she's going through a lot of different emotions, things that are coming up that maybe like inner demons that she would have had, you know, buried deep within her that she hasn't released out to the public. I do feel that there's a lot of dysfunction, and I see a lot of dysfunction when it comes to her family and how she gets along with them. There's also a sense of rivalry between her and some of the other siblings, so I don't feel like their family life is the most perfect, but I mean, that can be for anyone. You know, most people that have family lives have a lot of siblings, or they have a lot of family members. You know, most families, not all of them, but most of them have some kind of level of dysfunction. But when it gets into the Braxtons, I really feel like there's a lot of skeletons and things that have been kept in the secret and been kept hushed from the public a lot. And I do feel like her upbringing was really fast. So, like, she would have really grown up really fast in this environment of entertainment and being around people. So I feel like a part of her innocence and her childhood would have not been there. You know, she would have been stripped of that from a very young age. And there was this maturity that a lot of people observed around her in her family. Um, and they try to shield her from a lot of things that were going on. I feel like arguments between the parents and other family members and just other situations that I will not, you know, go into very in depth because they are very, very private. But I do feel like there's a lot of things that would have been very dysfunctional and would have taken a toll on her at the psychological level, but as also as the spiritual and the emotional level. And it's made her to be almost not dependent on a male or on a man, but in many ways she would seek comfort going to, you know, any kind of male that would be around. She would feel some kind of comfort from relationships. And don't, you know, the people that are listening to this may misinterpret what I'm trying to say. I feel she's a very independent and strong woman, and a beautiful woman, but I feel like there's this in her, this nurturing or caring that was seeking, and it was more prevalent in the last couple of years in her life, and she was seeking it through the relationships that she would have been in or the marriage that she was in. And I do feel like within the marriage itself, there was also, you know, it was more promiscuous in that marriage that she was with Vince Herbert, and I'll get into that slide in a minute. But I feel like they would have had, you know, ups and downs. They would have had separations and then reconciliations. I don't follow the Braxtons. I've seen maybe one episode of the show, but I don't follow them, so I don't know a lot about their history. So all of this that I'm giving, and I don't have time, you know, when I do these readings, a lot of people will say, you know, well, you're giving everything that's already in the media, and it's not true, because I don't have time to sit here and follow a person's, when I'm reading them, you know, follow their whole timeline and know everything that's going on. A lot of the stuff that I give is not on the media. It's not publicized. And this is exactly what I'm getting from Spirit, from around her family and the things that I see. So please keep an open mind. And a lot of people that listen to these videos will comment, and they don't even listen to all of the video, just a portion of it, and they'll cut it off. So if you are like listening to this, fully listen to the very end of the video before you, you know, say anything about it. But yeah, I do feel like right now she's in a very crucial area of her soul, and I feel like there's this possibility of a breakdown that is happening, but she's trying to keep it in the publicist, and people are trying to keep it hidden from a lot of people. But I feel like right now she's really centered, focused around her career and what is coming up next. She has had some health scares, we all know that, that's public knowledge, but apart from that, I really feel like on an emotional level, she is craving like true love and wanting true love in her heart. And in many ways, I don't feel like she has gotten over Vince, even though that has been the whole thing. So let me get into this next slide here. This is Tamar and her ex-husband, Vince Herbert, and they were together for quite some time. And even though people move on from a relationship, I think that a lot of people would say, in the public, well, she's, moved on. She's done interviews and she said she's moved on, but that's just a facade. That's to sell tabloids. Deep down at the soul level, I don't feel like she's over Vince. And I feel like in many ways that she feels very much hurt by the whole situation. And I don't feel like their marriage was a perfect marriage either. I see that there was a lot of financial power control issues and a lot of things on the financial level, but also at the soul level. Vince and her grew apart. I don't feel like they were together. They weren't the same people that got together when they got together back in 2003 or whenever they got together. Um, so their relationship changed, and I feel like he was very much outspoken, and he would tell her things that would lead to arguments. And I feel like there was just a lot of bickering back and forth, a lot of disagreements, a lot of things that led to this relationship deteriorating and ultimately leading to them to separate, which is, I feel like, was very good at the end because it was turning very volatile, and I feel like it was affecting her and her career and her health as well. I also feel like she has coped with a lot of different emotions in a certain way that maybe wouldn't have been healthy for her health, which led to a lot of health issues that she has come out and said, that she's had. So whatever she was doing, whether it was alcohol, or anything else to cope with whatever she was going through emotionally, I feel like now she's in a better place, but she still is very torn up, I feel, at the soul level with the relationship that she had with Vince. And she's really trying to hide it very well, but it can't be hidden from those that are close to her. They can see it in her family members, her sisters. They can see it in her friends. That she is, still trying to move on. And so she's doing things like public appearances, dressing a certain way or modeling, new clothes and things like that to kind of, make people see her, as being okay. But I feel like ultimately there are some concerns as well. I also feel like all of this that's going on at the emotional level has affected her career in many ways, where she is now trying to like get deals and get into something that is better for her, because I feel like there's a lot of ups and downs in her career. She'll have some success, she'll be in a good spot, like she was on that show, and then she goes through a slow slump and kind of is retracted more into her personal life, and there's a lot of focus and attention in that. So there's a lot of money that she's losing out on right now. But I do feel like there's a lot of things that are not good, and her family life is definitely affecting her as well. So there's a lot of drama going on with Vince's family and her family, and it's a lot for one person to take. And like I said, if she's going through all of this, which I really do feel and see that she is, she really needs to have a good support system, because it's going to eventually erupt. She's the type of person that she keeps a lot of things bottled up. She doesn't want to be a burden to people. She wants to, people to respect her privacy. But ultimately, I feel like it's going to come to a crossing point where this is all going to blow up. If she's not careful and really just tries to make this where she accepts, where she's at and kind of tries to move on. She's not the rebound type of girl or woman who would, try to hook up with another person after having a divorce or stuff. She's very mature, and she has matured completely in as a person, as an African female. She's very about empowerment of women, very strong. a beautiful soul, like I said, but there's a lot of other things that are going on, and there's a lot of struggle. And I feel like she feels defeated in certain ways, but she won't ever, say that because she's very strong. But I do feel like deep inside, she does feel like defeated, and she's thinking of what is going on. And I do see that there's another male that would be interested in her right now going into 2019. And I feel like this male is someone who is very much almost like a healer. He is very calming and soothing, but he doesn't have his life together either. And I do feel he's African American, and he's in the entertainment industry. But what I get is that he doesn't have his stuff together either. So what he would be able to offer her, she wouldn't be able to appreciate it or to accept it, because again, like many people that are in a relationship that has gone bad, I feel like her mind, her thoughts, her soul still has that spiritual cord connected to Vince in some way. So it's like drawing her energy. And the base, since they have a child together, it's kind of, it makes it even more hard to move on. But I do feel like ultimately she has thought, maybe they can, work things out, not like get back together or anything like that, but maybe, just be amicable. But I do feel there's a lot of tension between the two. And Vince is not in a good space right now. I feel like he has some health issues. He's had them. There's other things that he needs to watch, like his blood pressure, his cholesterol, his blood sugar. Those are the things that he would need to watch completely. I do feel like he doesn't take care of himself. He is up all the time, always going, socializing. His coping mechanisms as well for stress are not good, and what he eats maybe be affecting him as well. And again, I'm not a doctor, so I can't give, this is not by no means a diagnosis. It's just what I get intuitively from spirit around his health. So these are things that he needs to watch very carefully, because I feel like there could be another health scare with him if he's not careful within the next 2 years from now, anywhere between now and 2 years. So if he's recently had any kind of health scare or health issues, just something that he needs to watch, because he's prone to having this completely. But Tamar is a very strong woman. She is going to be okay. I do feel like there is romance for her on the horizon, but I don't feel like any relationship between now and 3 years from now would really work out. Whoever she would, choose to align herself with, there is a lot of, how should I say it? A lot of going back and forth, and her retracting and not liking what she may see, or putting up walls because she's been hurt so much. So it's going to take some time for her. This is not going to be an overnight process. I do feel like her career is going to get back on track, and she's going to have more deals and more things. There's going to be 2 women that present her with different offers. This is going to be something that happens within the next year. There could be 2 type of either like another TV role, or something to do with the music industry, but there's going to be 2 powerful women, and one of them is going to fight for her to really sign on with them, or really, close a business deal with them, than the other one. And the one that I get, she would be, I feel like she's someone who is fearless and very outspoken, and the other one is more, gentle, more nurturing, almost like a mom type of figure. And they may be around her age, maybe a little bit older, but I do feel like there's going to be 2 opportunities, and 2 female energies that come forth for Tamar. So it's going to be something that we definitely will be seeing playing out. But ultimately, things are moving in a good direction for her, but she needs to stay very positive, very grounded, focus on yoga, meditation, things that really would bring her energy back, more to a very peaceful and zen-like space, in order for her to see progression and see herself getting out of all of this funk that is going on in her life right now. But I'm very positive that she'll be able to do it. Like I said, she comes from a very strong line of women, very strong family, and she can, do it, but she needs to acknowledge that she needs some help from her family or friends, and not, let pride or ego take over for that. And if she does that, she'll be okay. And I also feel like there's a lot of forgiveness that she needs to give to Vince. She still kind of holds grudges against him, and I feel like there's forgiveness that he needs to do as well, to let go of these issues, because when we don't forgive people that have hurt us, it can create stagnation in our chakras in our body, our energy points, and then again lead to health issues. So all of this needs to be released. It needs to be let out, and she needs to just make peace with it, and he does as well. But other than that, this is what I see for Tamar Braxton and Vince Herbert. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If there's any other celebrities that you would like for me to do a reading on, please comment in the comment section below. Also, my book, Starseed Footsteps, is now out. Today is the worldwide release. You can pick it up on Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble. It's called Starseed Footsteps, and it will be listed in the description box below. If you want an autographed copy, you can order it directly from my website in the shopping tab, and you can see it there. So blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day.